Hey everyone, Chaps here, and welcome back to our last Horde Guide. In today's video, we will be discussing the Soldier. The Soldier mainly receives offensive bonuses based around grenades and assault rifles. It's the only class to spawn with frags, and has the classic Lancer, Gnasher, Snub loadout. Let's kick things off with some discussion about the assault rifles. You start with the Lancer, but which is most effective? I really didn't want to do this, but I did some testing on casual Wave 47 against swarm drones and around medium range. This is what I found. The Hammerburst has the highest damage per shot. The Enforcer has the highest rate of fire. The Lancer has the largest clip, and the Enforcer has the shortest reload. This comes out to an average DPS of the following. Before we go any further, I'm just going to throw out the Enforcer, as these numbers are unrealistic. All of this testing assumes close to medium range with 100% accuracy, and even then it's bound by my abilities to test. So while these numbers are in the right ballpark, they may not be 100% accurate. The Lancer is probably the best variety weapon, but at range the Hammerburst accuracy really shines. Up close I prefer the Retro Lancer or the regular Lancer. The Enforcer, which I removed, will have higher stats than those other weapons, but I just really don't feel it's worth using. The accuracy is just complete garbage most of the time. The Retro is the last one on the list, and it's a pretty amazing option. It has way more kick than the others, but it's still fairly controllable, but it has a constant stream of damage, a quick reload, and very high damage. What's really interesting is when I bring in this next part of the table. Here I calculated the damage per magazine and how long it would take to go all the way through the magazine plus a reload. In doing this, I can get a more accurate representation of the DPS, including the necessary reloads. As you can see, the Lancer, which didn't used to have the highest DPS, now has the highest DPS of the weapons because of its extremely large clip. For this reason, I usually like to hold on to my Lancer. I might pick up a Retro or a Hammerburst, but the Lancer is probably my main weapon. Let's move on now and discuss the grenades. Grenade plants are something that seem fairly simple, and for the most part they are. There's three main places that I normally see grenades planted. One is in enemy spawn locations. Two are around decoys, as they attract enemies. And 3 is near the base, in case enemies get too close. Planting near the base can be very nice. If you get overrun, it can be very beneficial to have a grenade help to take out an enemy that's getting too close. Be careful not to plant it too close to you though, as it may get shot, or when it detonates it may do more harm than good. I'd stay away from number 2, which is around decoys. Really, here you're probably only going to hit one guy at a time, and it's probably one of the weaker enemies anyways. The same goes for planting in the middle of a standard enemy path. They'll run right by it and may take some damage, but the bulk of the damage will go to the person behind them, that is, if there's anyone there. The first place I suggested is in spawn locations, and this is probably the most effective place to plant grenades. The best part about grenades is that they dish out a large amount of damage over an area, and can affect multiple enemies at once. Spawn locations are where you'll find the largest grouping of enemies, and where you'll get the most bang for your buck. On that note, don't forget the various types of grenades. Smokes and flames really aren't worth using in my opinion. Frags are very effective at doing lots of damage really quickly, and most people stick with these. There's 2 types of frags in the game, and they're both interchangeable. I don't really like that you can't pick up one and then pick up more of the other type, you have to have one or the other, but they're essentially the same frag grenade. Shot grenades are also really good though, and they're often overlooked. Using these for area denial, stunning enemies, or just to do damage over time in spawn locations, they're really good. Unfortunately, they don't stun all enemies, but the stun does a great job of slowing people down and getting them to stop shooting. Planting these in spawn locations is actually pretty awesome. I'm usually pretty bad about throwing grenades as a soldier. I mean, I'm good at throwing them and good at aiming, but I always forget to do so. Based on the cards that you have, tossing grenades regularly can be a great help to your team, especially if there's a choke point. If you're using a lot of grenades though, just be sure to either have resupply on, or ensure that you're running out to pick up stray grenades that are left on the field after each round. Also, don't forget that each of the ammo boxes on the map will give you grenades, of any type, and the supply crates that you get for bonus objectives also seem to frequently drop grenades of some sort. Okay, enough of this grenade talk though, let's move into everyone's favorite aspect of the soldier class, the Hammer of Dawn. The Hammer of Dawn is the most expensive strike in the game, and by far the most powerful way to deal out damage. The price has been increased a few times since launch, but it's still totally worth it. My only word of caution is to use them wisely, mainly on boss waves, or I guess if you start to get overwhelmed. Near the end, you can probably even do the last few waves using nothing but hammer strikes. Keep your scout in mind though, they're going to need to run around and collect all that scattered energy from across the map. No scout enjoys that, so we try not to use too many unnecessary hammers. And that's pretty much going to do it for the Soldier Guide. If you found that useful, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe to keep up with our content. I'm not a great soldier, so be sure to leave us a comment below. Did I miss anything? And what's your personal strategy when it comes to this class? That wraps up our latest, and probably last batch of Gears 4 Horde class guides. If you haven't already, be sure to go check out the skill card videos and the guides for the other classes. As always, if you guys have any questions, be sure to hit me up on Twitter or in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all online. Hey everyone, being this is our last planned set of Gears War 4 Horde guides, I wanted to do what I can to ensure that these are accurate. For that reason, I'll be pinning a comment to each of the videos with 3 things. 1. A link to a Reddit thread discussing Horde. 2. A link to a forum thread discussing Horde. And 3. A list of updates based on feedback. So please, if you disagree with something or if you want to discuss anything further, please reach out to me in any of the 3 places above or on Twitter. We're normally pretty good about responding, and I'll do what I can to keep these pinned comments updated. Note that these may not all be live as soon as the videos go up, but I'll hopefully have them together within a week or 2. Thanks again to everyone who's watched these videos, and I look forward to experiencing Gears 5 with you all next year.